Thank you. Special thank you to the Chamber and the Appeal Democrat for hosting this evening's event. I'm honored to be here. As many of you know, I was appointed to serve out the term of now Assemblymember Gallagher when he was elected to the Assembly. I'm a 40-year resident of District 5, and I've had my own business for over 20 years, and I deal a lot in agriculture and energy issues. I'm a longtime volunteer in this county as well. There are a couple of issues that I really wanted to talk briefly about. One is the unfunded pension liability. As some people in the room know, there will be 2 items on the agenda tomorrow for the Board of Supervisors, and one is to look at a new fund to help fund the unfunded liability. The previous board in 2011 approved a new 2-tiered pension system that has actually saved about $50 million a year. Additionally, I think we all agree that hiring an internal auditor is important, and as I said, I've been on since last, actually April. And I'm happy to report that this item will also come on the agenda tomorrow evening, and we're looking forward to discussing that. And a special thanks to the auditor, Controller Nate Black, and the CAO, acting CAO Kurt Cooks. They worked very hard on this for a long time, and it was brought forward as a result of the budget last June. Again, thank you very much.
Matt?
Thank you very much to the Chamber and the Appeal Democrat. Thank you very much to the Chamber and the Appeal Democrat and the people for attending tonight. My name is Matt Conant. I'm a 7th generation farmer in the United States, 5th generation in California, 3rd generation in Sutter County. My wife Lorene and I have been married for 25 years. She's a special ed teacher in Live Oak for 32 years. She's taught. We have 2 sons, Matthew, 24, who I am privileged to work with each and every day. He farms with me. He's now becoming the 4th generation farming in Sutter County. My son Greg is 21. He is a student at Sonoma State. I went to East Nicholas High School. I've lived here my entire life in Sutter County. I attended Yuba College with an AS in Ag Business and a BS from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I'm also a graduate of Class 31 of California Leadership Program, and I am concerned about agriculture and the finances of the county. We must preserve and protect agriculture for this generation and future generations here in Sutter County. I'm also concerned about the financial integrity of the county, and I want to preserve and protect it as well. Thank you.
And Liz?
Well, the room filled back up. I thought we sure cleared it out when we came up here. My name is Liz Cervantes. I've lived here for 43 years. As of today, I've knocked on 1,733 doors. I have gotten in touch with my people. And I don't know if any of you guys are my people, but I want to tell you a little something about me. My family relocated here when I was 7 years old. I went to Lincoln Elementary School, then went to Faith Christian Middle School, and graduated from Faith Christian High School. I met my husband Carl, who's here tonight. We've been married for 30 years. If that's not commitment, people, I don't know what is. And we still actually dig each other, right, bud?
Yes.
So the thing that I am most proud of is our children. We have 3 grown children who are all married and currently serving in the United States military. They went to boot camp, and I'm pretty sure they went to boot camp because they did not want to participate in walnut harvest. So I wish that they were here tonight, but they are not, and I miss them very dearly. Okay, Jackie. I currently work at the Chamber of Commerce, which has afforded me the position to meet so many people. And I would have never met them if it wasn't for the Chamber. Thank you for coming tonight.
Okay, thank you, and now we'll go into our questions. And each candidate has 60 seconds to answer a question, and we'll rotate as to who gets the question first. And we do have an opportunity, maybe once in a while, for follow-up questions or rebuttal, but that's up to the moderators. You have your first question, Steve?
Sure. You've all probably watched from across the county line at the controversy surrounding the proposed Magnolia Ranch development. Opposition to the development for a variety of reasons, including the ideas that other developments, such as Plumas Lake, were far from complete build-out, and that farmland in the area should be preserved. How do things stand in Sutter County as far as further residential development?
Oh, we're starting with Madam, sorry.
Okay, so we are, I assume I'm going first?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, I'm sorry. We do have some development proposed in South County of Sutter County, and we need to make sure that the developers pay their fair share, and the county is made whole as they were promised in the developer agreement that was proposed, and that is called Sutter Point. And we need to move forward on that development as long as it's done responsibly and maintained the county to be held whole. And that is about the only major development we have in right now. Yuba City is also expanding as time goes on, but it's no real development occurring right now.
Liz?
Farmland needs to be protected at all costs. Agriculture is the #1 industry here in Sutter County. We all know it. We need to help our farmers, but we also need to find a way to attract compatible industry to our area. The farmers, like I say, #1, but not everyone is a farmer. I've knocked on a lot of doors and they aren't farmers. But we've got to maintain our ag land at all costs.
Barbara?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. As Matt indicated, there is a proposed development down in South Sutter County, and I do think that that is an opportunity for us in the county and as part of the region to attract some major businesses. I know that, actually one of my colleagues in the audience here, we've talked about potentially university or extension, UC extension service, because we are an agricultural area, and I think we have a lot to offer because we are ag in terms of teaching universities and laboratories and even seed companies. So I think that we have an opportunity there as part of the region.
Thank you. Our next question. How should the county react to the legalization of recreational use of marijuana, which many believe is likely to happen in the fall elections? Liz?
So I have tried to be extremely clear on this issue. I am not a proponent of legalized marijuana. However, if it comes to a ballot initiative, I feel that we need to be prepared to get in on the revenue stream and to have a plan. I will not vote for it, I do not use it, but there are people, again, I've knocked on doors, who need the medicine. The county pushed through an urgency ordinance that I thought was premature. We need to revisit this issue.
Barbara?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I was one of the board members that led this effort because of the illegal large outdoor grows that were proposed in South Sutter County in District 5. And I think the ordinance was timely, and I think that what we did with that ordinance, we allowed the opportunity to have medicinal marijuana for folks who needed it. But we put restrictions on out of the area, out of state people coming in and wanting to set up shop here in Sutter County, and that would have been devastating, I believe, to our economy. And even if it passes in November, local governments will still have control as to how they want to implement any type of use, much as they did when the medicinal marijuana issue was passed 20 years ago.
Is there a rebuttal?
30 seconds.
Okay, so the residents of Sutter County the new ordinance has been made unaffordable for people to get their medicine. That's all there is to it. They cannot afford it. And Barbara can shake her head all she wants. But I am in front of the voters, and that is what they're saying.
Okay, so it's my turn now. Okay,
Sorry, you
so
go.
that's okay. So anyway, I supported the ordinance that the board proposed. I actually proposed it back in October when I was running, as I'm running for the office now. When I first started my campaign, that was one of our key issues, to ban illegal grows, because we have a legal grow that would be right next to one of our farming operations. And it would have been devastating to our ability to do business there because of the crime it would bring into the area. If it is legalized in the state, I believe that the county needs to maintain control over it and maintain the ability to come up with its own plan on how to regulate the growth in the county. And I'm not really for growing marijuana legally in the county. Thank you.
Annually, the unemployment levels in Sutter County remain at unacceptable levels. What can the county do to help change this? What do you plan to do about it?
Barbara?
Okay. First of all, I think one of the most important things to economic development. Oh, it's on. I'm sorry. Shall I start again? Okay. Okay. One of the most important things in terms of economic development in this county is our levee improvements and improved flood control, because no one's going to want to locate or expand in an area there's a potential in flooding. And I have to say that I am proud of what the Sutter View's Flood Control Agency has done. We're moving forward to repair the levees on the west side of the Feather River. However, we still have a lot more to do, and that includes the Sutter bypass. So I think that is number one, so that the insurance rates are such that businesses can relocate, will want to relocate into this area. I would just add that I think being a part of the region and promoting this area from a regional perspective is also important, because we have a lot of great attributes to attract people to the community. Thank you.
Matt?
Agriculture is a $3 billion industry here in Sutter County. Returns $3 billion to our local economy each and every year. Agriculture is the backbone of Sutter County and the driving engine behind it. We need to promote agricultural businesses. We need to promote agricultural value-added products. We need to have wine. We have wineries now in the Buttes. We need to have tasting rooms available for the public. We have a great tourism industry that we could develop here in Sutter County with the birds. We could have a bird and wine drinking festival. So these are things that I support: promoting tourism, value-added products in the agricultural industry, and also promoting other types of value-added products being made in this county with ag products and developing all those sorts of things. Thank you.
Liz?
I think at the next forum, we should have a wine tasting pairing. That's my opinion. But I've lived here my entire life, and there's always been two major obstacles in Sutter County. The first one was our levees. As our supervisor just pointed out, there's been great progress made on our levees. The other thing in relocating businesses here was the transportation corridor, which has now been overcome. We should figure out how to relax on some of the restrictions and regulations on drawing business here. It's too expensive.
Okay, our next question, we'll start with Matt, and it's, what is your understanding of the current cost and status of this county's pension liabilities, and what is your solution? Again, this is our second audience question of this forum.
Thank you. That's what one of my key issues in my campaign have been from the very beginning. In Sutter County, we have a $130 million unfunded pension liability as we speak today. 18 months ago, that liability was $110 million. We've lost $20 million in 18 months, or $1.11 million a month. I'm not saying that's gonna continue, but it probably will at some level continue at a fairly high rate. However, this is not unattainable. When I was on the South Sutter Water District Board, we had a 1.1 million unfunded pension liability with a 1 million a year budget. Sutter, that was 1.1 to 1 ratio, debt ratio on budget. Sutter County is only a 0.56. We can overcome this. Thank you.
Liz?
So, as Matt pointed out the numbers, I'm a mother, and I know how to live within a budget, and we are not living within a budget right now. Obviously, this is going to come before the board tomorrow night. I feel like it is political positioning. That's just my opinion. We need to draw up a strategy. We need Nathan Black to get involved in this conversation and to figure out a way to pay down our debt. Because if any one of us had a debt like this, what would happen? Seriously, too long. Enough is enough.
And Barbara?
Thank you. A couple things. First of all, involving the timing, the 2014-15 audit report was just completed, and the auditor scheduled that to be before the board tomorrow on April 26th. And in that audit, it shows the unfunded liability, so that everyone has the numbers correct, at $108 million. And certainly that's a lot of money. And I think all of us on the board and previous board members have been concerned. And as I mentioned, we are working towards funding, additional funding to offset the liability. And and I mentioned the internal auditor as well. And so all of those fiscal issues are coming as a result of also the audit report that the auditor is bringing forth. And since last June, the budget session, that's when the board gave direction to look towards these issues, and we're bringing them forward. Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Oh, I don't know. I said sure.
Can I do a rebuttal? Okay.
Sure, 30 seconds.
That budget report was old. That's 2014-15. I'm talking present value today, 130 million. Thank you.
Casa de Esperanza is in a tight place right now, having lost the use of their longtime facility to fire. How important is the service to our counties? And in your estimation, what should the county and other entities be willing to do to keep them viable?
Liz?
The loss of Casa de Esperanza is huge, and it affects every single one of us as taxpayers in Sutter County. We need to find a facility for them temporarily or build them a new one. There's lots of space here. They need our support, every single one of us. I believe that they're having a breakfast. If you would like to buy tickets, they are available through Jackie Lee.
Barbara?
Thank you. Yes, Casa de Esperanza has been just tremendous value to the community in terms of domestic abuse and the folks that they serve. I've known Marcia Krause-Taylor for a long, long time. And when this devastating fire occurred, the county administrator, health department administrator, and the county really stepped up and assisted, and we continue to work with them. I personally contributed to CASA because at the time there was a need for shampoo and all those everyday needs, and so I would encourage any of you, if you want to write out a personal check and contribute to CASA, that you should. And again, Marcia has done a fabulous job with CASA, and we in the county will work forward to find a building. Look forward to finding a building. Thank you.
Matt?
Yes, the children and the mothers that are protected there need our support. We must find a facility somewhere as soon as possible for those children and mothers. And I don't know that we have a facility right now available, and I've thought long and hard about it. I don't know that the county has anything that would be suitable. But if anybody's got their thinking cap on and can think of someplace, it would be wonderful to have a facility where they could move into.
Fremont Hospital.
Yeah, we thought about that. It'll be empty in a few weeks, so. Thank you.
And Liz? Oh. Oh, I see. I see what I meant. Okay, must be
Well,
Barbara.
CASA has a GoFundMe page, so just saying.
Okay. Concern has grown over the last couple of years about the homeless issues. Although it seems currently that the major concerns seem to be mainly located in Yuba County at present, how is Sutter County affected, and what can the county do to partner with other governmental and nonprofit entities to address the situation? What should be done, Barbara?
Thank you. First of all, walking my district, especially in the Shanghai Bend area, I've received a lot of comments and actually some pictures regarding the homeless, and from constituents who are very concerned, and the fact that we are not able to use our riverfront like they would like to with their families. So it is an issue. I don't have all of the answers, but I will share with everyone that the county is hosting a workshop on May 4th from 4 to 6, I believe, we'll have the Salvation Army and Hands of Hope, so that we can look at the needs of many of the homeless who probably would qualify for some of the services that we have here in the county. What we do not have, of course, is housing for some of these folks. Again, I was there and toured on Friday evening, and it looks like there are a few more camps because of what happened in Yuba County. So we are working on this issue.
Matt?
Yes, the homeless population is coming to Sutter County. After they are leaving Yuba County, I've been walking the districts, and numerous people have told me that the trash is accumulating much rapider than it did in the past, and there's a lot more issues with people down in the river bottoms that weren't there when they walk their dogs and take their children down to the river. They feel fearful that there could be something happening to them, and we must protect our citizenry, but yet we must provide some sort of benefits and help to those people in need. And that is a difficult task, to figure out how to help everyone. And we must figure out a way to do that. And I don't know all the answers, but a lot of them are very difficult. Some are mentally ill, drug problems, some have prison records, etc. So thank you.
Liz?
The homeless is an interesting situation, and it's here. It's here in Sutter County. We see it every single day. I'm afraid because there are a lot of people that frankly scare me. I work at the Chamber of Commerce, and we have had to call Yuba City PD multiple times. But here in Sutter County, our mental health system is broken, and we need to figure out how to help these people that truly need the help. We have wonderful programs, Hands of Hope. When you see somebody panhandling on a corner, you need to let them know that there are services that are available to them that they are not utilizing.
Okay.
But I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Next question's for Matt.
SMUD and WAPA, two nice acronyms there, are proposing a transmission line that will impact Sutter County with no benefit to the local area and will severely impact some local farmers, wildlife, and some local businesses. What have or will you do to protect Sutter County's interests as the project progresses?
I've been to several meetings, and I'm desperately opposed to this. I hate to say this, though. I think it's going to be hard to stop WAPA. The federal government runs them, and they got a lot of power, and they also have the ability to eminent domain. But I do think they will listen to us if we have a unitized voice, and we have had that here in Sutter County. And Colusa County also has a problem with it. And we must try to stop to protect our local agriculture. This type of development infringes with the ability to farm rice, to crop dust, to do those types of activities that are so dependent upon agriculture as we know it today. Thank you.
Liz?
Senator Nielsen and Assemblymember James Gallagher have proposed a option for the transmission lines. If you have not seen their option, I would highly encourage you to see it, to understand this. Yes, we need to protect our farmers, our farmland, but like Matt says, it is inevitable. They have so much power, but we have to protect our ag.
And Barbara?
Thank you. This is an issue that I've worked on since it was proposed in the county, and I do not believe it is inevitable. And based on the list of comments, which I actually happen to have here, that were submitted to SMUD and WAPA, and that's Sacramento Municipal Utility District and Western Area Power Agency. And yes, WAPA has eminent domain authority. But I will tell you that there is a list here of 25 to 30 folks, including farmers, the California Waterfowl Association, the counties of Sutter and Colusa County, as well as a myriad of law firms who are representing growers, and the Sutter Buttes Regional Land Trust, the California Farm Bureau, the Yuba Sutter Farm Bureau, the EDC, and reclamation districts in our region who have opposed this. So I don't think it's inevitable. I think there's an opportunity for us to stop it, and I would never give up until it's done. I think we do need to protect those landowners that will be impacted by those lines and the crop dusters as well. Thank you.
And ready for the next question, right? We're going to start with Liz on this one. Why has it been so long since Sutter County has had an internal audit? And this is another audience question.
Okay, so apparently the internal auditor position was eliminated in 1992, and basically no one's been tending shop. There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. We need an internal auditor desperately. When Nathan Black, who was overwhelmingly voted in by the people, has been consistently requesting this, as has Amanda Hopper, we need an internal auditor now. I believe that Ms. LaVake has said that we couldn't afford an auditor in previous statements, and I say we cannot afford not to have one.
Barbara?
Yes, thank you. Let's see. My first budget since I was here on the board in this last year was last June. And when the auditor came forward, as well as the sheriff, as well as many other department heads requesting funding for additional positions, that was one of the positions, there were 5 actually, that we said, told staff, look at those, we support those, but we're not going to fund them right at this moment, at that point in time. And I believe it was unanimous with the board at the time. So, you know, here we are moving forward. We've been working on it, and we are going to, hopefully, if the votes are there tomorrow evening, we'll fund the internal auditor. And my goal is also to fund this next budget session a couple more, at least a couple more sheriff's deputies, and that's my goal.
Matt?
Yes, I've been working on this issue since my campaign started. I have been supporting internal auditing from the very beginning. It's critical. It's our only source of checks and balances as taxpayers. And we have done no internal auditing for 25 years, for the last 25 years. And we all, well, maybe we don't all know, but Supervisor LaVake was on the board at the time it was defunded and voted to defund. That was 25 years ago. That's why the whole problem started. She also opposed it in the June board meeting when they discussed the budget. It's for these reasons we do not have internal auditing in Sutter County right now. We need to have internal auditing. It's critical to the well-being of the county and the financial integrity of the county to make sure that it runs efficiently and there's no money being defrauded by the taxpayers. Thank you.
Barbara, do you have a quick response on that?
Well, I just said what I'm going to say. I'm moving forward in a positive manner, and I think that, you know, we have the money in the budget, and we're going to do it this go-around. In '92, and I honestly do not recall specifically, and we maybe didn't have the money in the budget. You know, times have been tough, off and on, depending on the economy, but now I think we're moving forward. We're getting out of the recession, and we're moving forward.
Okay. And you have the next question. It starts with Barbara.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sutter County has a long heritage of hunting and fishing, some of these activities through private clubs, some not. Either way, it adds to the economy of Sutter County. What are your views on protecting the heritage and providing public access to hunting and fishing in the county?
Well, I am a very strong supporter of hunting and fishing in this county. My family all hunt and fish here, so I'm a strong supporter. And one of the reasons I'm so opposed to the SMUD WAPA lines is the impact that those lines would have on our wildlife and the ability for those hunting clubs to continue. It would impact the refuge, the Sutter refuge. So I'm a big supporter of hunting. Actually, I grew up on Gun Club Road, if that tells you anything, in Merced County. So practically grew up with a gun in my hand. Anyway, thank you.
Max?
Hunting and fishing is a big part of life, and a lot of people that live in this county thrive on it. And it's a wonderful thing. But agriculture has always been the preserver of the habitat and the endangered species and the species that we all hunt. And we must preserve and protect agriculture to preserve and protect the habitat and the species. We also need to be worried about our homeless issue. People don't want to go down and fish in the river when they got to cross a homeless camp or trash or feces on the ground. And it's not healthy for the fish either. We don't want to have that kind of habitat, so we need to preserve and protect our rivers as well as our farmland to preserve and protect habitat for this generation and future generations. Thank you.
Liz?
So this is a shameless plug. Look what we have here. We are sitting on a gold mine in this area that we are not utilizing. Let's figure out how to bring tourism to Sutter County. We have a visitor service here, and we need to utilize that service. If anyone would like one of these, you can have my copy.
Okay, our next question will start with Matt. Sutter and Yuba counties don't always score real well. In fact, we can say they don't score real well when it comes to an array of health standards, obesity, smoking, diabetes, etc. What role does county government play in helping improve and maintain a healthy population?
Well, that's one of the goals of the health department, is to help improve the life and well-being of the public, both the standards of housing as well as the health of the public. And we also have our health clinics for local youth and single mothers as well as welfare people as well. These are all critical to the health of the population of the county, and we must maintain that. I think that we also have a great deal that we can offer in other services to help reduce obesity. Maybe we can start more things such as diets, which some of us need to work on more than others. That pretty much covered that topic, I think. Thank you.
Liz?
So when did it become the government's job to monitor obesity? Let's get this back into the hands of the parents that are raising their kids. We have tons of opportunities for people to become educated on this. When I was a kid, we ran through Sutter County. The sun was our compass. When it was time to go home, it was dark. We weren't in front of TVs. We weren't playing video games. This is what we need to go back to.
Barbara?
Thank you. Well, in order to bring about awareness and to educate folks, and I would tend to agree, when I grew up, that's the way it was then. Unfortunately, it's different now. And I know the county with Yuba County have a weight loss challenge going on, and I think they've received a lot of publicity, and it's a way to hopefully encourage folks to join that challenge, to lose weight and to be more healthy. And beyond that, I don't think that it's necessarily the health or mental health or any of the governmental agencies to tell people how to eat or what to eat, but I think that they can provide information for them to take home and utilize. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I have a rebuttal? I just want to say, in knocking all the doors in my county, I have lost 8 pounds. Just saying.
Next question is for Liz.
We did a survey recently and asked area residents what were some of the issues that were most important to them to hear the supervisors talk about. Just about everything is important to everyone, but of outstanding importance is public safety. Every now and then we hear about how the public safety front's affected by a lack of funding, by a lack of personnel, whether it's law enforcement officers or the district attorney's office or probation office. I'd like to know what your ideas are on the level of public safety and how it might be improved, what your priorities are.
So the first thing we're going to do is get an internal auditor, and we are going to expose all of the waste, the fraud, the abuse, and then we are going to fund our public safety officers. I talked to a fireman recently in Sutter County, Oswald Tudor. The morale is horrible in Sutter County. We need to help these people. They need a cheerleader, and I am the person for that job.
Okay, Barbara?
Yes, thank you. Public safety has been one of my main issues. Number one issue is, as I mentioned, improving our levees. I've been involved for actually decades. And I think that is something that most of the people that I talk to when I walk, it's about levee improvements and when is it going to be done, when will our levees be certified, and that falls into the economic area that I mentioned as well. And I think increased law enforcement, sheriff's department, and I am pleased to say that I was endorsed by the Sutter County Firefighters Association. I've worked very closely with firefighters. They're the line of first defense many times, car accidents on the freeway. So I think public safety is absolutely essential to the economic viability of the community as well. Thank you.
Matt?
Yes, I think that we need to work diligently on our sheriff's department. We are hemorrhaging sheriff's officers in Sutter County. Our pay is substandard, our benefits are substandard, and we are losing officers like there's no tomorrow. We must resolve this problem by increasing pay, hiring high quality officers to fill those ranks that are vacant. And we need 4 new officers in this county just to maintain a good, safe environment for our community. We have the same number of officers a day on duty in the Sutter County, excluding Live Oak and the jail, as we did 35 years ago. And what is our population? How much traffic do we have in the rural areas, especially in South County? We must deal with this in an expedient manner and get new officers. Thank you.
Okay, our next question was...
Wait. I'd like a rebuttal, can I?
I don't know what rebuttal.
Oh, okay.
You can cover it in your closing argument.
Okay.
You need to change the tape. Okay, forget it.
Okay. Well, it threw me off. Let's see. Now darn it. That wasn't the one I wanted, but we'll do it. Annexation. Barbara, we'll start with you. The city of Yuba City is moving ahead on the eventual annexation of the Keyhole neighborhood to the south. The city wants to bring the area into the city limits to meet the required percentage of households in the area to provide city police services to the South Yuba City area, now covered by county sheriff's office personnel. Some residents are against annexation. How is this significant to county operations, and do you take a stand for or against annexation?
First of all, I'm not taking a stand for or against. I think that's up to the residents who would be impacted. I know that this effort was made about 10 years ago, I believe, and it was voted down. You know, I think the city needs to do maybe a little better job getting out and talking with folks in the area that would be affected, because I've walked that area a lot, and people have asked me, or I've asked them, and they're either people who are adamantly opposed to it, or they're somewhat ambivalent about it because they don't know a lot about it. So it would seem to me that that would be a decision that they would have to make. It would be a 25% protest, and then it would have to go to a vote. So we'll see what happens down the road.
Matt?
I think, I'm not for it or against it. I think the people need to have a say. I have a lot of people I've walked and seen that are vehemently opposed to the annexation. They have heard that they're supposed to get 6 new officers in that 620 acres. We all know that's not true. And I don't think there's anybody pulling the wool over their eyes. But I think that the city has to get out in front, and if they really want to push this thing, they better find some good benefits to the population of that area. And I don't think they've proven their case yet, according to people I've talked to.
Liz?
Okay, so we have LAFCO, right, which is the Local Area Formation Commission, and the residents have the right to petition this commission and their voices to be heard. But back to law enforcement, real quick. I'm sorry. Some of my best friends are officers, and one of the problems is our youth are not going into law enforcement because they've just got a bad name. We need to support our law enforcement at all costs.
Okay, and let's move to our final question of the evening. And with that, Steve?
You don't have to dig that far back in our memory or in the archives for examples of the devastation of flooding for our area. Although much has been done to bolster protection in the last several years, we'd like your assessment of how Sutter County, both urban and rural areas, stand as far as levee protection goes, what further needs to be done, and how might supervisors help accommodate that?
Matt?
Okay, we've still got a little more to do on the west side of Sutter County, Yuba City. The levees have to be repaired yet, but the bypass has not been touched. We have that whole bypass area that needs to be dealt with and worked on it, and we've got to generate a lot of money in order to pay for that repair, and we must do that. The public safety of Yuba City residents is in jeopardy, and that levee is substandard, as was the other side that has been repaired. But we must get that section improved. That can easily flood Yuba City just as well as the Riverside. Thank you.
Liz?
So obviously we would like everybody to be protected with the levees. But like Matt says, if we do not get some funding, it's most likely not going to happen. Our taxpayers have been taxed enough. If the federal government or the state does not come through, what are we going to do? Are we going to pay for that? Do you want to pay for that? But everyone needs to be protected.
Barbara?
Thank you. I've had the opportunity to sit on the State Reclamation Board, which is the Central Valley Flood Protection Board. I've also sat on the Levee District 1 Board of Directors, and now I'm on Sutter Butte's Flood Control Agency, and was one of the folks very involved, as a few of you were here in the audience, to pass the benefit assessment for the work that we are doing on the west side of the Feather River. Had it not been for that benefit assessment, we would not have had the local cost sharing money to be able to get state funding to help on the levee. The Sutter bypass is a big problem, because where I live in O'Banion Road, even though we're fixing the levees up here, I will still be at a very low level of flood protection. Now that is a state maintained and operated levee on the bypass. So it is the state's responsibility. And at the last Sutter Abuse Flood Control Agency meeting, actually this issue came up, and a member of the audience brought it up, and we are actually continuing to look at how we're going to work with the state on a regional basis with our local senator and assembly member to get funding for the bypass levy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that's all the time we have for questions. We're going to move to our closing remarks. And each candidate has 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes. You don't have to take the whole thing if you don't want to. And we'll start with Matt.
Okay. As I said, there are two major reasons why I'm running for this position on Board of Supervisors. One is agriculture is the #1 industry in Sutter County. We must preserve and protect it for this and future generations. It has a $3 billion return to the local economy each and every year. If elected, I will be the only farmer that serves on the Board of Supervisors of Sutter County. I am the only farmer. Two, there are nobody on this board that truly understands the rural crime, the rural flood protection, the FEMA regulations that are atrocious and they're restrictive on businesses trying to do business in South Sutter County. Nobody really truly understands the other land use issues that I've lived through for my entire life of farming in Sutter County. The other thing is I am very much for internal auditing, paying down the unfunded pension liability, and we must get these issues resolved, and we must preserve and protect agriculture. Those are my three things that I am for, and I would appreciate a vote on June 7th to support me for Board of Supervisors in Sutter County. Thank you.
Liz?
It is not easy to sit up here and be grilled. It is difficult. I'm nervous. It's awkward. But I hope that I have provided good enough answers to your questions. I have the energy and the people skills. This isn't about me or I. It's about us. It's about our. I am the person right now that has the energy and the people skills to get this job done. If not me, who? If not when? If not now, when? Please consider me. I would love your vote. It would be a great honor. I appreciate everyone who's come out tonight. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Appeal Democrat. I am the girl.
Barbara?
Thank you. Thank you again to the Appeal and the Chamber. Is that okay? For hosting this event. I truly appreciate it. But I want to introduce my #1 campaigner who's out in the audience. Eva, this is my 8-year-old granddaughter. Would you please stand up? And she is learning the political process firsthand. And there are also a couple of other young women in the audience helping as well. I'm on the board to get things done, as I have done in my private business. And when our levees were in desperate need of repair, I helped to lead the charge to get them fixed on time and under budget. When large commercial marijuana growers tried setting up shop in Sutter County, I helped lead the fight to pass a new ordinance banning outdoor grows with the support of my fellow board members. In terms of economic development in District 5 and the county as a whole, the most important issue is, as I've stated before, is to have improved levees and lower insurance rates. Yes, the Feather River, as I mentioned, project is on time, but we do need to address the Sutter bypass, which I mentioned as well. As a businesswoman for over and an agricultural background, I'm from a third generation farming family. The folks that I represent in my business are in agriculture, in water, and in energy. And I help them to try to navigate the regulatory process in California, because I think we all know how difficult it is to do business in this state. Right now, in fact, I know of 4 businesses who want to locate in Sutter County, and I am working with them to cut through the red tape so that they can get their businesses up and operating in a timely manner. With your support and vote, I will continue to be a fighter for you and all of Sutter County. In fact, most of the people who contact me are not people I actually know. So I love working with all of you in the community. Thank you very much.
And thank you to all of our candidates.